ass on the catwalk for the rest of this game. I'm dead. I'm so dead. I'm fucked. God damn it. Hashtag fuck World of War. Bring it on. What do we got beat on Kino? 27. My goodness. Now, 27 is clearly not my highest round on Kino ever. Let's be completely honest. That's...
Ow. somebody grabbed it, but he didn't get there fast enough. Well, don't be mad. Yeah, 3 MFing saves. Fuck that shit. Fuck no. What the fuck? I don't feel confident. I swear to God. I did all the work. I did all the work. I did all of the work. I literally saved us. Where's my assist at? Oh, that's bad. That's real bad. That is so fucked. Yeah, we're fucked. Oh, we're not fucked. Give me, give me that, give me that, give me that. That is so motherfucker. Cuck or not. Save that. I don't know what the fuck that was. Yes, I passed it. Oh my god, he fought the tackle! Oh my god, he's the go! He's not the go anymore! That is so fucking Fuck you. Yes! Oh my god, hit it in! One on the big way! Big way, one on the big way, on the big way! Of course, it's a little bit higher. Get fucked. Hit the gosh darn bar, fucking buggers. Ooh, that's a goal. One fucking buggers are there, brother. Stop ball, thank you. Or others are gonna run for Howard. What the fuck was that? The fuck was that? That's what I call the fuck bounce. Cause it floats, literally. It floats, literally. That's called the fuck bounce. I swear to God. Cause we're not scoring again. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. Fuck me. No. Okay, can I actually see something? Okay. Oh my god, murder. I hit it so hard, man. Give me items. You fucked! Oh, score! What are you doing? Score! 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 Well, I thought we were down 2-1 for some reason. Get fucked! Function in on that. That's gonna be a hard hit off the boards. Are we ready? He's missed. Fuck. You got absolutely fucking. Guess what? Teleport home. Get the ball. Thank you. Now you gotta save on that. Oh, that's a hit. That's a big hit as well. Yeah, I should. Just snag that shit. Oh, keep snagging that shit. Keep snagging, and I sold myself. Ooh, okay. Ooh, get it. Go! Go! Wanna play by the man himself called the Spike Elf. Spike-O. I'm not getting carried. I don't care what you say. I'm literally the reason why we had to leave in the first place. I'm playing defense. I'm clearing balls. No, hold on. Pause. What the fuck? What the frick? The fuck was that? He sold. I get fucked. Woo! Oh, flip, flunk. The fuck? We're trying to own goal for you. Flow plat 3 low. Managing plat 3 low. Mr. Red Sox with Mr. Red. Oh my god, you're disgusting. Of course, I'm fucking signing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114 I gotta restart my phone because this game is dumb. I had to restart my phone because this game decided to be an idiot, and yeah. Oh, now we're speed flipping. Okay. Alright, we're doing this shit now. Yeah. Oh, we're doing this shit now. Oh, save you, mother trucker. Fuck! I like getting bumped. What the frick? I'm like, what the fuck?
Up, right? We are going to rank every single SMG in COD history. They're one of the main weapon types in COD. Everybody has their own idea of which is the best.
Shut the fuck up.
Which is the worst. The MP7, the MP5, the Scorpion, the Evo. Well, guess what? We have a definitive list. We are ranking 123.
What a shot, but this is diamond, so anything that goes on it will be saved immediately.
From COD 4,
You're a
Black Ops
fucking
Cold War.
dumb.
We are going to split this into 3 parts because this is a massive list. Drop a like and let's get into this match. At number 123, the Black Ops 1 Uzi. One of my least favorite SMGs in COD history. It's absolute hot garbage. High rate of fire, high recoil, low damage, terrible range, and some of the worst iron sights in COD history. This gun truly had it all if you were trying to hate your life. At number 122, Black Ops.
Go, go, go. These nuts for the win. Fuck you.
It had a small 20-round mag. The recoil was horrendous. The damage was super low. And despite it being able to be dual-wielded, it was a terrible idea because it was wildly inaccurate. I actually debated over whether to put this gun above or below the Uzi, but ultimately, I don't think it matters where they are because they're bad. It's at
You're a
number
fucking
100.
fuck.
Guys, before we go any
You try to speed flip, but you don't. So like, again, why does this exist?
no further than Apex Legends PC, you can check out the Chaos Depth on That's right.
That's how you gotta plunger effectively. I swear to fuck. Favor clearing it. Now, just line it up a little bit good, right?
And now we get to 100. Black Ops
And of course, I got
pattern here. PM63 once again.
double tap, double tap. These nuts.
But damage and 20-round mag, it just didn't work. This thing only had
Oh, what a plunger, mate. What a plunger.
900 rounds per minute. That doesn't jive.
Lol, PM63. It's bad in zombies as well. A little less than.
It only gets a higher spot than the Uzi because it was a tad easier to control, although that's not
That is
saying
absolutely.
At number 120 today, the COD World War II WAP 28. Now, many people love this gun in the beta. But when the full game came out, Sledgehammer drove it into the ground with the Nerf hammer. Horrible damage, long
That's a goal.
reload damage,
That's a goal.
and
It's a goal.
pretty hefty
How's that not a goal?
and it almost unusable.
1 minute army.
It was no good. And yes, I know SMGs are close-range weapons, but you'll see as we go throughout this list that a lot of these in the upper tier category are like mid-range assault rifles. At 119, the Modern Warfare 2019 Striker 45. Yep, it's supposed to be the new version of the UMP 45, but it doesn't have the good stuff people liked about that UMP. The mag is smaller, the damage is inconsistent, the range sucks, and the recoil is unpredictable. Striker is bad. Now, it's definitely better in multiplayer than it is in Warzone, but neither one is very good. Now, I know there's going to be some people arguing with me on this one, but I'm sticking to my gun. Get it? See what I did there? At number 118 today, the Infinite Warfare FHR. It was supposed to be a futuristic interpretation of the
I can't get a shot. I can't fucking score. We can't score.
High fire rate, low damage, but unlike
Frick
most
you.
other P90s, the FHR-40 had extremely high recoil. It made it unusable beyond close range. Plus, Infinite Warfare was a super mobile game, so good luck tracking your targets with this thing. It didn't work. At 117, the Advanced Warfare
That's
AR-9.
fucked.
I love dogging this gun, I really do. 5-round burst SMG, first ever, right? Horrendous range, super inconsistent damage. Burst SMG needs to be super powerful and super consistent. Otherwise, what's the point of using it? It was one of the worst burst weapons in COD history, not just Advanced Warfare, and it's definitely a lower tier SMG. We haven't even cracked the top 100. At 160, the Black Ops 2 PDW 57. Now, at one point, the gun would have been probably in the top 10, okay? After a hefty nerf, it became one of the worst guns in Black Ops 2. Bouncy, weak, unpredictable, and not versatile in any way. It was a marshmallow shooter in the biggest sense, and it had one of the steepest falls from grace in COD history. We're not going to go with the launch hit, we're going to go with the current state. At number 150, the Black Ops 1
Oh, these nuts is cracked.
accurate automatic weapon in Black Ops 1, that doesn't mean people like it. It had a high fire rate, but very low stamina.
Actually, no, Numa.
Somewhat long reload animation, which made it a bizarre weapon.
Just getting in this jungle,
battle,
my bad.
especially when it was dealing as little as 20 damage per shot. Nobody was going to take this with him on the maps like Nuketown and Summit if they were actually trying to go for a win or go for high kills. At number 114, the Black Ops 3 HD-40. Yes, we are ranking DLC weapons as well. It's one of the most disappointing DLC weapons of all time. I was hyped for this thing. It was a futuristic MP40, but it wasn't. High recoil, low rate of fire, super inconsistent damage. It quickly became one of the most talked about weapons in Black Ops 3 because of how crap it actually was. It was patched once or twice, but even after that, it was no good. This had to be one of the most disappointing supply drop guns in COD history, and this was at a time where you weren't even guaranteed to ever get it and get to experience it, but you weren't missing it. At number 113 today, the COD 4 Sport. I don't like the gun, and I know some of you like it, but it's not getting a very high spot for me. Fired fast, it had zero recoil, but it was also extremely weak. It had this little baby tiny magazine and a painfully long reload animation, which once again, you don't want a long reload animation with an SMG. In hardcore, yes, it was nice because of the handy, but in core modes, the time you kill
Of course, Zero takes forever.
I'm not ranking or judging off a hardcore mode because everything's pretty good in hardcore. At number 112, the Black Ops 1 NPL. Low damage profile SMG, but it did have a high rate of fire and one of the biggest default mags in the entire SMG class, which is saying something, but range, terrible. Recoil, terrible. There wasn't much reason to take this thing over every other SMGs, or even like the AK-74U, or a rifle, or the box, whatever. Nobody used it, and it's not hard to see why. At number 111, 111, Modern Warfare 2's Mini Uzi. It was faithfully copy-pasted into MW's COD 4, but due to the changes in gameplay, it just couldn't keep up with the other weapons. The Mini Uzi fired fast and he kicked a lot, but it didn't hit very hard, which made it very frustrating to use when compared to other rifles and SMGs.
Lol, say comeback story.
Nobody was ever going for nukes with the Mini Uzi, unless you were just trying to test your own patience. At number 110, the Advanced Warfare SN6. Who remembers this gun? It was actually in the very first multiplayer trailer, I do believe. It's the blue and yellow colorway. The SN6 was a 4-to-6-shot kill, and it had the lowest recoil in the SMG class. But that low damage and bad range was a trade-off, and it wasn't exactly a trade that people were willing to make. The rate of fire was low. It made it feel even more sluggish. That's what it felt like. It felt like a sluggish gun, which is the complete opposite of a melt machine. I didn't like the gun, and I know I'm not alone. The damage was way too low for people to want to use it, and I can honestly say I probably only used it once in my entire...
Dang it, all 5 of our goals.
At number 109, the Black Ops 3 AK-74U. Now, I love the AK-74U. You're going to see some versions of it way up higher than this, but not the BO3 version. It had the same lower fire rate and vertical recoil you'd expect, but the damage, it was super inconsistent. The range was, let's just call it embarrassing. Now, the legacy of the AK-74U that it has in COD, I would have expected it to be way better from the Black Ops 3 version. I know I'm not alone here, and I know a lot of people were disappointed. At number 108, the Advanced Warfare MP11. It's kind of a pointless gun, honestly. High rate of fire, moderate recoil, low damage. Now, in a game like Call of Duty, a 4-to-6 shot kill weapon, it wasn't exactly what you wanted, especially when you have to be reloading it all the time. It was a lower end of the mid-tier in Advanced Warfare, and that's not saying much. At number 107 today, the COD 4 Mini Uzi. Now, the Mini Uzi was a melt machine at close range, but once you backed it up, it lost almost all of its appeal. Super fast fire rate, but super low damage, and it didn't have very good range values either. It made it a true close quarters weapon, and even then, there were better close range guns in COD 4.
Oh, we got AIDS.
In terms of stats, it wasn't any good. At number 106, the Modern Warfare Remastered Max 2. It's in the game, basically as a reskin of the Mini Uzi, but with slightly lower recoil patterns. Was it amazing? Had a decent time to kill up close. I guess
Lol.
there's not a lot to say about it. It wasn't going to blow your socks off, but I guess it was solid enough. I had to put it somewhere. At number 105, COD World War II M1928. It has a lot of the same problems as the WAP did that we talked about earlier, but to a slightly less degree. It fired really quickly, people like the feel, but the reload animation was slightly faster. The damage was slightly more forgiving. It wasn't amazing, don't get me wrong, but it was more usable than the WAP, so I gave it a slightly higher spot. You have to remember. At number 104. Let's see if you remember this one. The Modern Warfare Remastered Bang 45. It's one of the most forgettable DLC guns in COD. It was this weird SMG with some huge iron sights, low recoil, but super unimpressive range. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad. It was kind of just sitting there in the middle of the pack saying, use me, and nobody did. I'm kind of pissed they added DLC weapons to Modern Warfare Remastered, but hey, I guess I'd rather it be bad than overpowered. I don't know. Did you ever even use the Bang 45? At number 103. The Ghost CBJ MS. This is one of the least used guns in Ghost. It was a very fast-firing SMG with integrated armor-piercing rounds, which sounds freaking awesome, but it also had very low damage and a very high recoil pattern, which made it hard to use beyond point-blank range. In a game like Ghost with bigger and more open maps, the gun just didn't help you out. Most people just walked right by it and classic. At number 102. You see a pattern here, lots of AW guns, Black Ops, the Stack 3. Another SMG that killed in 46 bullets and nobody because it wasn't the one. Honestly, can you blame anybody? No. The SMGs in AW were vastly outclassed by the AS1, so even if they were decent, you didn't see them online. You didn't see them on the battlefield. The Stack was slightly redeemed in the sense that you dual-wielded. It made it slightly better, but it wasn't exactly a popular choice no matter what. I always wondered, how did they achieve the reload animation with that dual-wield? It was magic. At number 101, the Black Ops 4 MX9. It's weird. It's one of those guns that needed to be loaded up with attachments in order to be viable, but even after you kitted it out, it was only mid-tier. Nothing special, not a whole lot to write home about. Some people made it work, it did work with it, but it was super middle of the road in the grand scheme of things. We have so many to rank, I just can't give it a higher spot. Now we've reached 100. The 100th best or worst gun, however you want to say it, SMG-wise in COD history, is the Modern Warfare 2019. I mean, has Uzi ever been good in a COD game? I don't know. It's debatable. I guess the 2019 version is a little better than the rest because of the higher damage, but the low rate of fire and the bouncy recoil ruined it. Plus, despite having the whole gunsmith at your disposal, it was difficult to get the Uzi out properly. I just don't think it's very good. While you may have been able to make it work with some kind of lab kit out, not many people did. At number 99, the Black Ops 1 Scorpion. It was one of these slower SMGs in Black Ops 1, and from a damage standpoint, it wasn't special, but it was one of the few SMGs in the game that you could run akimbo. That's cool. It was underrated. The akimbo version was. It's not top tier, but it was underrated. It was a fun weapon, but that doesn't mean it was a particularly good one. That's why it's at number 99. At number 98, the Black Ops 1 Mac 11. Now I'm going to put the Mac 11 right next to the Scorpion because it was another gun that wasn't very good on its own, but in akimbo mode, you could do some stuff. It wasn't amazing, but the high rate of fire and the tight hip fire spread with steady aim made it pretty intimidating on smaller maps. So if you had that working for you, it's not the worst. But the single-wielded is not even a thing. The regular Mac 11, it was absolute garbo. At number 97, the Black Ops Cold War Milano 821. Now, the Milano is the Cold War equivalent of the Uzi, and honestly, it's not much better. Granted, it's certainly better than the Modern Warfare Uzi, but that's not really saying much. Had a low rate of fire, pretty high damage, but even then, the damage isn't high enough to justify how few bullets are coming out of your gun compared to other people's guns. You can get something done with it, but it's not going to get you as far as some of the other SMGs. It's the lower ranking. At number 96, the Black Ops 3 HLX-4. Another weird weapon. It fired very quickly, had an insane time to kill. But it also had this weird trait where when you pulled the trigger, the gun had to charge up for a split second. This meant you couldn't actually push with the HLX-4 due to the fact that you literally couldn't snap around corners and engage people immediately like every other SMG in the game. Time to kill was awesome, but the handling and the fire delay is what killed it. It was like a gun with a turbo, and it had to spool up. At number 95, COD World War II Irma EM. Low recoil, decent fire rate, average damage. It was an alright gun, you probably don't even remember it. there's not a whole lot to say about it. COD World War II had a buttload of DLC weapons, and a lot of things kind of blended together into this one massive picture. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't doing anything super special to stick out. At number 94, the Modern Warfare 2019 Pity. Extremely fast, but the damage was so low. The recoil, unpredictable, made it hard to take advantage of the great theoretical time to kill. Now on smaller maps, it would do work, but the lack of versatility made it struggle on other maps. Shipment shootouts, I mean, Fennec is solid. Ground War and Warzone, you're probably not going to be running it. At number 93, the Ghost K7. Now I've said recently that the K7 was one of the worst guns in Ghost. I'm going to follow through with that. Yes, it had an integrated suppressor. It was nice. But with the bouncing recoil and the low damage profile, it just wasn't a good gun to take through the battle. Some people like the K7, but I think it should get the lowest spot on this list, honestly. And the Ghost time to kill is fast. You need something to get work done. At number 92, Modern Warfare 3 MP5. I've said this before. This MP5 wasn't bad or anything on its own. It simply could not keep up with the rest of the game. It was bouncy, it was inconsistent. Just didn't have the time to kill that you needed in order to be competitive in a game like Modern Warfare 3. This game was stacked with godly SMGs rifles, so a gun like the MP5, it just didn't get any field time. At number 91 today, the Black Ops 1 MP5K. As much as people remember this version of the MP5, it wasn't that good. I know we all look at rose vision goggles. Bounced a lot. It was actually one of the slower automatic weapons in the game. Time to kill, not very good. Handling, not very good. It was just mediocre. It was mediocre. That's what it was. It was better than other SMGs in the game, but that's because, like I said, Black Ops 1 had a really, really bad list of SMGs for some reason. At number 90, World at War, Thompson. It's probably the worst SMG in World at War, but that doesn't mean it was a bad gun. It just means World at War had great weapons. Thompson kicked quite a bit, but it packed a punch. It could kill, it could kill pretty quickly if you hit your shots. Plus, the firing sound was pretty awesome. It was lower tier in World at War. I would say mid-tier in the green scheme of COD SMGs. At number 89, the Modern Warfare 2 P90. It's always had this giant magazine. It's always had a solid rate of fire, but the Modern Warfare 2 version, it was outclassed by other weapons. Yes, it was a nice spray and pray weapon, but ultimately, it wasn't very popular because other guns just got the job done faster. It had some appeal, but you're not going to pick it when you had all those god guns. At number 88, who doesn't remember this one? COD World War II Austin. Pretty weird looking gun in terms of stats. It's not very memorable. Average fire rate, average damage, but yes, it did have a 3-shot kill range, which is something you always want in a COD SMG. The reload was also somewhat fast for COD World War II, which is a game where most guns had kind of slow reload times. The Austin, it was decent. It was worth using, but it wasn't going to get you super excited. At number 87, the Modern Warfare 2019 R. Starting SMG in Modern Warfare, it was extremely versatile. It just didn't really fit one role super well. The default mag was very small. The fire rate wasn't very good, but the damage kind of helped. You could get some work done. It was just a weird weapon that needed a lot of special kitting out. Even after you kitted it out, it's not as good as other weapons. I think this is a fair spot. At number 86 today, the COD World War II ZK-383. The select fire SMG that the community was a tad split on when it was first added. Now, there was a fast firing mode and a slow firing mode. Most of the time, both of these modes just weren't going to do what you wanted them to. The damage profile didn't scale with the fire mode, so the slow firing mode felt weak. The fast firing mode felt inconsistent. It's like Sledgehammer was trying to make a World War II version of the Ripper. It just didn't fit. At number 85, the AW Repulsor. Now, you would be forgiven if you don't remember this gun. It was added to the game very late in its life cycle, but it did have some decent traits. Killed at 3-6 shots. It had a moderate rate of fire, and it was one of the only guns in the game that literally could not shoot through walls, which made it a little frustrating in certain situations. But when it was all said and done, it was an average SMG. Not too good, but not too bad. At number 84 today, Black Ops 2 Chicken CQB, the first ever burst SMG in COD history. People loved it. I wasn't one of them. Time to kill was pretty good in theory, but it was outclassed by most of the automatics in Black Ops 2. Some people, yes, it made it work. Yes, it has a cult following. I know they're going to be here. The fan club's going to show up. I just wasn't a fan. I think we're all being honest with each other. It's a decent spot. At number 83, the COD World War II Corsa. This was their classic, fast-firing but low-damage SMG that I don't have a whole lot to say about. Time to kill was good, range was lackluster, reload animation was a little long. Everything COD game has one of these weapons, that's not always a good thing. It was decent, but not many people were going to flock to it. I honestly didn't even remember. At number 82 today, the Ghost Bison. Now, this thing had a giant magazine. It was pretty hit or miss weapon due to inconsistent damage. In a game like Ghost, where the time to kill was ridiculously fast, inconsistent damage is not your friend. Bison was good for spraying and praying, but that was about it. In terms of raw time to kill, it wasn't that great. At number 81 today, the final entry of Part 1. Remember, this is going to be a 3-part series. The Advanced Warfare Stick. That's, yeah. Average rate of fire, low damage, very high recoil. It kind of all seemed counterproductive. I think Sledgehammer was trying to make the gun clunky and awkward since it was from World War II, but in the end, it kind of made a gun that really wasn't fun to use. I guess, hey, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about the stick. There you have it. That is Part 1. We made it all the way down to 80. Part 2 will take it from 80 to 40. And then the final part, we will find out the best 40 SMGs. Thank you for all the love and support on the videos lately, everybody. I'll see you soon. Comes to mind when you hear the term DLC, specifically when you hear the term DLC in relation to Call of Duty. It's been absolutely everywhere since COD started, but today, today we have a special video, my friends. Today we're going to take a deep dive into the twists and turns of the evolution of downloadable content for Call of Duty. We're going to bring back the Evolution series, and if you guys wanted to stay, you let me.
Hi.
Hello. I shouldn't have to be calling you twice. You're supposed to pick up.
I didn't see it.
Well, I need you to take a moment from your game and go get my package because your dad has left and I don't want it just sitting out there.
Okay, mate.
So, you're probably gonna have to, your dad probably set the alarm, so make sure you undo the
No,
alarm.
I'm already in the house. I'm already in the house. He said your dad probably, I know, yeah, he left.
Probably set the alarm with you in there.
No, I set the alarm myself. He left. He was
You
leaving.
did it yourself.
He was leaving when I was walking down the hill.
Oh, you were coming in while he was sweeping out. Okay.
Raymond Voidbow.
wireless customer you are calling is not